I never thought silence could hurt so much. After my husband Daniel died, the house felt empty, even when it was full of people. Everyone told me to be strong, but no one told me how to sleep alone after years of sharing a bed, or how to drink tea without hearing his voice. Loss does not come loudly, comes quietly and stays forever. Daniel was not perfect, but he was kind. We had small arguments, small dreams, and a simple life. When he passed away suddenly due to illness, my world stopped. I stopped caring about time, about food, about myself. Days passed and I felt nothing. Nights came and I felt everything. People visited, offered prayers, and slowly disappeared. I remained alone, lonely, broken. I tried to be faithful to his memory, to live as a widow who never smiles again. I believed loving again would mean betraying him. That belief became my prison. Months later, I returned to work. That is where I met Adam. He was quiet, respectful, and never asked personal questions. He listened. When I spoke about grief, he did not rush me. He did not fix me. He just stayed. That felt dangerous. I told myself it was harmless. Just conversations. Just shared silence. But emotional closeness grows quietly, like cracks in a wall. I began to wait for his messages. I began to dress better. I began to feel alive again, and that scared me more than death. At home, guilt followed me. I spoke to Daniel's photograph, asking forgiveness for emotions I could not control. I was not touching anyone. I was not lying. But my heart was changing, and I did not know if that was allowed. Loss teaches you pain, but it also teaches you how fragile love is. I was standing between the past and the future, unsure where I belonged. And without realizing it, I was about to cross a line I never thought I would. I never planned to betray anyone. Emotional infidelity does not begin with intention. It begins with comfort. Adam became my comfort. We talked during lunch breaks, then after work, then late at night. I told myself it was friendship, but my heart knew the truth before my mind accepted it. I laughed again. I felt understood. I felt seen. And every time I felt those things, guilt followed like a shadow. I was still married in my heart. Daniel was still my husband in my memories. Yet I was sharing emotional space meant for him with someone else. Adam never crossed boundaries with words, but emotions crossed them silently. When he asked if I was okay, I felt warmth. When he missed me, I felt important. I started hiding my phone. That was the moment I knew something was wrong. Infidelity is not always physical. Sometimes it is choosing someone else emotionally while pretending you are still loyal. I told myself I deserved happiness after pain. But deep inside, I knew happiness built on secrecy never lasts. One evening, Adam confessed his feelings. He said he respected my past but hoped to be part of my future. His words felt gentle, but they broke something inside me. I realized I had already allowed my heart to leave the space of grief and enter something new without permission. That night, I cried more than I had since Daniel's death. Not because I loved Adam, but because I had betrayed my own values. Loss had made me weak, but it did not excuse dishonesty. I stood at a crossroads. Continue hiding and feel alive, or face the truth and feel pain again. Emotional betrayal does not scream. It whispers until you cannot hear your conscience anymore. I knew I had to choose before I lost myself completely. The next morning I chose honesty. Not with Adam first, but with myself. I admitted that I was not ready for love. I was escaping grief, not healing from it. Emotional attachment had become my way of avoiding pain. I met Adam and told him everything. I told him about my guilt, my confusion, and my fear. I told him I needed time, not affection. He listened quietly, disappointed but respectful. That moment taught me something important. Real care does not demand possession. Walking away hurt, but staying would have hurt more in the long run. I returned home and looked at Daniel's photograph again. This time I did not apologize. I thanked him for the love we shared and accepted that my life did not end with his. Loss does not mean your heart dies. It means your heart learns a different rhythm. I began therapy. I began writing. I began sitting with my pain instead of running from it. Infidelity, even emotional, leaves scars. It teaches you how easy it is to cross lines when you are lonely. It also teaches you the value of integrity. I learned that healing must come before love, not after. Slowly, I forgave myself. Forgiveness does not erase mistakes, but it allows growth. I stopped hiding. I stopped pretending. I became honest even when honesty was uncomfortable. For the first time since Daniel's death, I felt peace. Not happiness. Peace. And that was enough. Years passed. I changed. I grew stronger, calmer, and more aware of my emotions. Grief never fully leaves, but it becomes softer. I learned to live with memories without letting them control me. One day, love returned. Not suddenly. Not desperately. Came slowly, respectfully. This time I was ready. I did not hide. I did not rush. I did not betray myself or anyone else. Loving again after loss is not betrayal. It is continuation. But only when done with honesty. Only when done with healing. I learned that love does not replace the past, it adds to your story. Infidelity taught me a painful lesson, but also a valuable one. Emotional honesty matters as much as physical loyalty. Silence can hurt. Secrets can destroy. Truth, even when painful, heals. If you are listening to this and carrying loss, remember this. You are allowed to feel again. But do not use someone else to escape your pain. Heal first. Love later. Can you love again after loss? Yes, but only when your heart is ready to love without guilt, without fear, and without betrayal.